side, Rogue can be towards the B side. They've conceded it. They don't want any sneaky peek action. And Rogue is coming up. Pop now. Not spotting anything just yet, because it's really just going to be Yeaster making contact and potentially
portion of the map. Don't mind it. As Def with the great backstab there in that round. I wouldn't even say that it was necessarily important, you know, after Peter just gets that first pick, but, you know,
it does change.
Little jab and then the uppercut from Def to finish it off. And from that point, Rogue was just KO'd and they couldn't get up. Flashbang coming out there to deny the AWP pick, and Rogue's going to go for some short. B control. Don't want to speak too soon here, Kev, but this map pick of overpass has really been very successful.
Was the method.
Predicts. Unfortunately, Yeaster just too good in this game. He's a standing need the AWP as Peter two. Game in their.
I mean, when Yeaster 16 kills, I think he's got just about near equal, not exactly equal, but near equal all the kills on the rest of his teammates.
It's like the Mixwell and Magisk show all over again. Rogue's just going, oh no, not again. Please stop. This happened yesterday.
It's
and just to respond on what you said earlier, ooh, actually, Rogue are coming out quick here through the party area with heavy numbers, but the Molotovs go down. Def spraying down 3. Shinobi attempting to...
No need for them to charge for that incendiary grenade and try to catch 3 people off guard. As Complexity had Peter, Death, and Slemmy just waiting. They'll just go, oh, look, they're coming through. Death goes, oh, this is fun. Reminds me of the last round, or 2 rounds ago. Look at that. Peter's already on 16k. Yeaster, 12k. So much.
Some of these picks from Complexity and then work off that. They need a decisive advantage in one of these rounds as Shinobi goes for the AK armor. The rest of his team looks like they're going to go for a sort of semi-commitment of the money. They've got full loss bonus here, so if they do go for, you know, sort of half buy in this round, it wouldn't be too bad. They'll have plenty of money next round to make sure that they're able to buy. A couple of Deagles coming out here and a nice little spray down as they push through the molly from Def.
Just why would they push through 2 incendiary grenades? They're not going to... Even if they do get the kill, they're taking so much damage. And they still have so long to get on towards the A-bomb side as well.
Same mistakes over and over again.
Crucial because kind of a bomb site a little bit further as Android also finally finds a pick towards Monster. He's going to be happy trying to get back into the action of, or the swing of things. Android's going to pick up another one. Also here's Vice, now spots bomb as well. Oh, this is a good flashbang. Vice does turn around completely blinded. Retrieves the AK-47. Now Whitmer, oh no, Whitmer makes contact.
Yesterday. don't see switched off. Don't see very keyed into what's happening around them, and they just need to sort of have a moment to chill out, get a consistent game plan coming in, you know, a consistent call coming in from the in-game leader, get a little bit of map control, and make sure they're all just focused on the game, focused on what they're trying to do, what they're trying to achieve both as individually and as a team, because a lot of the time they're caught off guard, they're not looking the right way, they're making some very questionable decisions, whether that's the in-game leader making certain calls or whether that's, you know, one player making a mistake and his other players are trying to compensate for it. I'm not sure of the inner workings of a team, but one thing's for sure, they are down 9-1 and they need to get some rounds here on the board.
Def just going to be smoking up close toilets. They know that Rogue most likely will be prowling, looking for a pick to try to swing the advantage in their favor, and Depth realizes the danger and decides he's a little bit out of his depth and backs out.
A little bit out of his depth?
Yeah.
Double smokes coming out. Quite common to delay the toilet control here as Peter posts on the inside angle of the toilets. They know that Rogue is pushing A control, which is going to mean they're going to have multiple players here on the B site waiting for the attack. 3 players here at B as Rogue posture up with 30 seconds to go. Flashbangs coming in. And 1 player left on the A bomb site for the flank as they fully rotate onto B. Attack coming in here from Rogue. They seem a little hesitant.
Yeah, but they're still encountering. Timing. It's a little bit on here. Peter can back, and then you just see him Def pushing in. There's no one here. We can stack the B side, guys. What happens? Rogue completely surrounded from all sides. Complexity was still holding onto incendiary grenades, which is so important because that just denies any further progression coming out from Rogue. And as a result, 10-1.
I mean, you know, they did slow down there, Kev, but they weren't forcing the CTs to use any of their utility. Push here through the party. Incendiary grenade goes down, but problem Rogue, even when they are slowing down or they do have something go right for them, they are a little bit too hesitant. It doesn't seem like there's somebody on their roster that's just willing to take one for the boys and go straight in first and make a little bit of a take a little bit of a ground while his teammates come in after him, and that's being a really big problem here for Rogue. And they push through the end of the smoke. Like, I don't understand, because if you're going to wait for the smoke in the first place, you may as well just wait for, you know, the rest of it to fizzle out and then try to set up, you know, maybe even take a little bit of long A control instead of all coming through the bathrooms. But they just seem a little bit in 2 different minds of what's happening for Rogue. The time's running out and they make a hasty move before they necessarily need to.
It's becoming difficult as well because Rogue, they're really starting to... They're just not picking up their gameplay. And it's going to become even more complex coming in towards their own CT half, because Complexity is now completely warmed up. Geister's on 20, Peter's on 15, Depth's on 12, Slemmy and Android, they've just done their job. Slemmy's just rotating around where he's needed, and Android, as long as he holds the monster position and gets either the damage or the informational play, that's all he needs to do. AK's Rogue is going.
Definitely huge impact in this round. Hiko with 2 over there on the B side. Looked like Complexity went for a little bit of a monster push. Def punishes Vice for going a little bit too aggressive there up long A, and looks like a 3 versus 4 situation here for Rogue. They are aware that 2 players did die on B. Complexity over-rotating just to try and compensate for that, and Rogue looks like they're setting up for the B play here.
Yeah, Slemmy's got to play the smoke so well, though, and Hiko, he might be able to read this perfectly as well, but they're coming in through short at the moment. Slemmy gets 1, won't be able to calibrate on towards Hiko, and Peter also finds Shinobi at the same time, so it's back down towards a 2-on-2, but Peter's just too good. Whitmer, what are you doing? You can't push that aggressively without Hiko, and that's just raw miscommunication. Hiko has to get the ace to take this right now. At the very least, he knows where the 2 players are right now, and he finds ahead of Peter. He also finds Def. Hiko, what an ace to try to bring back the Rogue.
one before. Close out the round in fantastic fashion. Even when the rest of your team's not all on the same page, only Hiko needs to be on the same page, and it doesn't matter if he's throwing Incendiaries.
Oh, great trade out, and now Depth's in a lot of trouble. And Rogue just backing out. No.
Here, when you're down in numbers, to concede that short control over onto the enemy team. But
the perfect way to end your day.
as a team, getting later into that round, they drop a man fairly early, but they say, we're not going to fall back despite having disadvantage. We're going to hold on to short B, we're going to hold on to the toilet control, and we're not going to let you get too much map control. And as soon as you make a mistake and you over-aggress too much on one part of the map, we're going to punish you for it. And that was the big defining factor in that round for Complexity.
So short water now conceded by Complexity. There's some good grenades. Just do a little bit of further damage, which might be just what they need. Is why does Shinobi then have a P250? Oh, might have dropped the AK.
He dropped the AK to Vice. It looks like they're leaning very heavily on Vice after his performance yesterday, but he's not been able to sort of replicate the same sort of form here against Complexity as he did yesterday against Optic.
Okay, so just back against the smoke. He might be able to hear something because they're just moving around. Come right down. Cindery just stopping Complexity from progressing any further for now. And Depth from behind. Once again, the lurk is going to be the big impact play because it's up to Hiko and Shinobi to make a difference. Peter just spotting out, hasn't spotted Hiko just yet. And there it is. What a reaction coming out from Peter. Now it's on to Shinobi. 1-on-3, 1-on-2.
Pick any T side. It's not looking good for them.
It looks even worse than yesterday. Let's see how the rest of the CT half will pan out for Rogue, whether or not they can come back or not. We'll find out after a short break.
Or we can go back to the party.
I think Michael's done enough partying for one night.